Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our installment of Scott's Selections here for Monday, November 9th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. Unfortunately, yesterday in the NFL went pretty poorly as we ended up going 0-2. We lost yesterday's play of the day with the Seahawks -3 at plus 100 on FanDuel, and they ended up giving up 40-plus points. I thought that Jamal Adams' return would have a bigger impact on Seattle's defense, but unfortunately that secondary was just continuing to be awful. Josh Allen had 415 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. He got sacked 7 times. But at the end of the day, Seattle had no answers defensively, and the Bills did whatever they wanted pretty much the entire game. So we picked up a loss there, and then we ended up losing a pretty heartbreaking way in the teaser. We had the Texans -0.5. They ended up winning by 2. And we also had the Chiefs -4.5. We would have won, but the Chiefs unfortunately had to give up 2 70-plus yard touchdown drives to Teddy Bridgewater in the fourth quarter. Even a field goal were good. Instead, 2 touchdowns, and the Chiefs ended up only winning by 2. Pretty unfortunate, so I ended up picking up a loss there on both. We're going to be looking for a bounce-back winner here on Monday. Now, for the Monday Night Football game, of course, this is going to be a painful game to watch. So if you have anything else to do, I'd probably recommend doing something else because you have the Patriots against the Jets, and that is just not a fun time at all. However, somehow I feel like it could be better than the Sunday night game, which was also terrible, as I guess Tampa thought the game was on Tuesday because they just didn't show up at all. Brady was terrible. The Saints opened up a huge lead, ended up winning by 30-plus points. Before today's play of the day, we're going to be looking at a team total here, and it's going to be on the Jets. We're going to be taking the under 16.5 points on the team total at -125 on DraftKings. A couple reasons why I like the 16.5. First of all, it's available pretty much market-wide at 15.5 at -110 to the under. However, DraftKings does have 16.5 at -125, and I am more than willing to sacrifice the extra point or to get the extra point for another 15 cents. Because I find 16 to be a key number that I want to keep, especially with 1 touchdown, 3 field goals being a way to get to 16, and I kind of want that extra insurance. But looking at the Jets so far this season, the Jets, everyone knows that they're a terrible team. They're the only winless team left, have a decent chance of going 0-16. But if you look at their offense, it has been awful. Now, I know Darnold ended up coming back for each of the last 2 games, but it is worth mentioning that the Jets have not scored more than 10 points in a game since week 4. They've scored 10 points or less in every game since October 1st. This team is awful offensively. No way around it. And now Darnold is going to be out for this game, which means that Joe Flacco will be getting the starting job. And we saw what he did in that game against Arizona, in that game against Miami. He was awful. They got shut out against Miami. Pretty much just was awful the entire game. And I expect New England to come up with a very solid defensive game plan in order to limit the Jets offensively once again. Now, the Patriots do find themselves in a pretty interesting spot because of the fact that there's clearly no chance of them to win the division or to even make the playoffs, really, because Miami keeps winning and Buffalo 7-2. But at the same point, are the Patriots really bad enough to get a top pick in the draft for a quarterback? Probably not. I think New England should be able to do enough in order to keep this game close. But defensively, New England has actually been pretty good despite the fact that this team's offense is terrible, as New England is giving up 23.9 points per game. I think New England should be able to do enough in order to stop Flacco and this offense from scoring 17 or more points. I think this game will be a very low-scoring game, but New England does love to run the ball. They love to eat clock, especially since Cam Newton isn't exactly able to throw the ball that well. I am a little bit concerned about maybe some turnovers, setting up some short fields for the Jets. But at the end of the day, I do expect New England to try to control the time possession. I think they'll play ball control offense, kind of like what they did against Buffalo last week, as they ended up stacking up on rushing yards and almost pulling off a massive upset there. Looking at how that game went, Cam Newton only went 15-25, so he was awful once again from the pocket. But if you look at the time of possession, New England did have over 30 minutes of time possession. I think the Jets will be forced into some third and longs, as New England should be able to stack the box, and the fact that the Jets' receiving core isn't very good. And I do think Belichick should have a good game plan to handle Adam Gase's offense. The last time they ended up facing each other on Monday night, we all know what happened there. That was the Darnold ghost game, and the Jets did nothing for basically 4 quarters, and Gase made no adjustments. I think this will be a similar story. I think New England should win this game in a pretty low-scoring affair, probably something like 20-10, something like that. But for the sake of this team total, I just think 16.5 is way too high for the Jets, especially since they have not scored more than 10 since the first day of October. So for that reason, the play of the day here for Monday, November 9th is going to be on the Jets team total under 16.5 points, which is available on DraftKings at -125, a time recording of 1:55 a.m. Eastern Time. That's been the installment Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.